welcome back to another edition of Unpopular Opinion. I know it's been a while, but I want to talk about something that's been trending in the news lately, and it was the incident that took place at True Kitchen and Kocktails in Dallas, Texas. So if you haven't heard, there was this restaurant owner that I wouldn't say, well, yes, he did curse out a couple of females in his restaurant because he asked them several times to stop twerking, and the women didn't respond to his request and they continue twerking. So he got up in front of the restaurant and just made a big speech, and there were a few curse words in it. I'll play the video now. If you guys don't see the video playing, I'll just link it below so you guys can watch it. But basically the conversation after this video going viral is pretty much, let's cancel this restaurant, let's stop patronizing his business, what he did was wrong, it was despicable, let's stop eating there, we're not gonna give him our money, he doesn't deserve it. And meanwhile, on the other hand, you got people saying no, he was right for what he did, they should listen to him. So today I got a special guest and my boyfriend to talk about how we feel about the situation and whether or not the owner was right. I believe whether you're in a workplace, whether you're out with your friends or at the mall, there is a level of decorum you have in every situation or every place you go to. And the fact that this man asked him several times, hey, thank you for being here. I don't know exactly what he said, but I'm pretty, from the video, you can tell he asked him in a nice way to stop twerking, and they didn't listen to him. I felt like what happened next was a result of frustration. This man's asking you continuously nicely, hey, stop twerking, and you don't listen. I feel like that was his only option he felt he could do, which was, almost curse you out a little bit. And I think the outrage comes from embarrassment. More so, you have this male almost chastising a group of women, and that's where it comes from. I really think that's why we have this outcry right now. What do you think?
I don't think we should cancel him. First off, because he's on our team, just like you might have a family member, like a family dispute. At the end of the day, that person is still family. If something happened to somebody in the family, even though you might not like your cousin, that cousin, still would be more likely to donate money to, say, I don't know, y'all grandma's hospital bill before, the neighbor, and that's how I'm looking at it. He black just like, almost everybody in that restaurant, if not everybody. And so, first off, if you pay attention to all of the details, a lot of people highlighting how he cursed, but he was like, you can get the F out. He didn't say, you effing ratchet A, hoes or anything. I don't think he cursed them out. He cursed out of frustration. And to be honest, I think that's fair because let's be honest, if his food was trash, all those ladies in there, if he got their order wrong, I'm pretty sure if they got to a level of frustration with the food or whatever, or the service, they probably would say something similar, you need to get your effing act together or whatever with this restaurant, you need to, whatever, you know how it goes. But anyway, within all this frustration, paying attention to the details, he still let those people sit there and eat because he could have kicked them out.
That's a good point too. I thought about that. Like, even though his rhetoric was a little nasty, think about it, this could have went left and he could have called the police. What if he got so frustrated where he's like, if they're not gonna listen to me, let me call the police. We all know that could have went really sideways, but no, he took it upon himself and he did it the right way. Like, think about it, what if he would have called the police?
Yeah, and I'm sure he knows what social media is today. For him to come out there and put himself in front of the camera like that, that kind of, to me, felt like a dad kind of getting on his daughters, or maybe a brother getting on his sisters. Mm-hmm. And I understand, maybe the girls just want to have fun, but at the same time, you can't have fun everywhere. I don't believe they would do that same thing in every establishment that they went to.
Talk about it.
No, I don't believe that because, we all know certain establishments, zero tolerance.
Doing that. You wouldn't do that.
Right, zero tolerance. They'll put you out real quick. Probably wouldn't even seat you based on, you being black. In Atlanta, we just saw that situation with the couple going into that one restaurant in Buckhead who supposedly didn't allow sneakers, but they had the white lady at the bar who had on sneakers. I don't think he should be canceled. It's a simple request. It's not a club or a party, where you would expect to dance, where you came to dance. And so all of a sudden you start dancing, you're doing what you came for, and then the DJ come out and, hey, y'all get off the table. That's what y'all went there for, but this is a eating establishment.
Then another point that I heard somebody else bring up, one of the women, she got up on the booth and her hands was pressed against the glass. Now, we already know if that glass would have broke and she, God forbid, she would have fell, cut herself up, do you think she would have really been like, oh, that's my fault, I shouldn't have done that, or would she have sued?
I believe she would have tried to go the distance.
Exactly. Everybody's looking for a quick come up. So I think he was right. Because also when you're doing that, you're making yourself a liability and you can hurt his restaurant. And I feel like as a society, we have to respect that. All our man was trying to do is keep his business alive and make sure everybody left happy and satisfied.
Even on the most basic level, like if you throwing a party at your house or your apartment and you invested money in all of your furniture, you know, I mean,
You don't want nobody stepping on it.
People start standing up on your couch that you done spent, I don't know, a grand or something on. Like what if they start standing up on your couch, and that's a different situation because that's actually a party. That's actually something they came to do, have fun and dance. You still might be like, yo, can you get off the table? Can you get off the sink? Can you get off the computer desk? Can you get off my couch? Just because that's what you invested in, you don't want it damaged. And that's not even making you no money. That's just sitting there. Everything in that guy's restaurant, he invested it so it can, in turn make him more money. Having him canceled is way too far. Like, he's one of us. He's not what's the guy, Daniel Cameron? Oh,
Yeah.
that's his name. Yeah, he's not one of, yeah. Like, he's one of us. Like, I listened to the whole video right before we started recording. And I honestly think, I don't know, people don't like being called out. People get defensive. And I honestly think anybody in that restaurant calling for his cancellation is just being vindictive. How dare you come at me like this?
Exactly. It's that embarrassment. It's that sense of embarrassment. Like, why is another adult chastising me? But you put yourself in that position.
Yeah. This man got a lot to lose. Like, that's his whole livelihood. He probably, no matter what you think about the restaurant, his image of the restaurant is what's really important. He probably has a vision. Maybe it's there yet. Maybe it isn't. No matter how you see the restaurant, some people might say, oh, this ain't, 5-star, whatever. He values it as that. And you should, the least you could do is respect. Respect it as that. Same way with your car. Your car might not be a Lamborghini. It might be a Honda. Hondas are nice cars. But, you don't want somebody going in there throwing that stuff around, scratching the leather, and when you complain, them saying it's not $1 million car. It's $30,000,
And I'm glad you mentioned his vision. Like, his restaurant may not be where he wants it to be or he working toward it. With that being said, if your vision is to have an upscale restaurant and create an ambiance where children and families can come, I don't think it's conducive for you to be playing twerk music. Like, I don't think I should be hearing Juvenile, 2 Chainz, and Lil Wayne. I'm just gonna be honest. If you're trying to create an early upscale environment where families can come to, you gotta be cognizant of the music you're playing too. So after the situation, I would hope he would go back and talk to his DJ about what kind of atmosphere they're trying to create.
That's true. That's another way he can have more control. Change up the music to where that wouldn't even be an option.
I'm not saying it gotta be elevator music, but it just can't be Kanye West and 2 Chainz. Like, maybe some jazz, some R&B, but like, if you're trying to create this environment where it's family friendly, you gotta think about every aspect of it, and it starts with the music. And then another thing I thought about, what if the DJ was encouraging it? Like, cause he see them liking music, so he played another twerk song.
Maybe that's something that he hasn't witnessed often enough to address it. Maybe this was like, the last straw or something, because he could have easily went to the DJ beforehand, before the shift started or whatever, or weeks ago, if it was a problem, and said, hey, don't play certain songs because da-da-da-da. But, maybe this was the first time he really, witnessed it, or maybe it was the first time that he saw it done to an extent where he felt like he had to say something.
So I don't want this video to be too long, but just to wrap it up, I feel like he wasn't wrong. Like, let's be honest, when somebody starts cursing at you, everybody automatically on the defense side. Like, there's a better way he could have went about saying what he had to say to get his point across. And I also felt like the women who he was aiming his speech toward should have listened. Like, it seemed like he came to them in a really nice, appropriate manner. I just wish they would have listened, and then we wouldn't be talking about this today.
You know, as far as his tone, you know, you said that he if he went to him multiple times, you know, I'm not complaining about his tone if he went there multiple times. He probably came with the correct tone the first 2 times, and you know, after that, you know, the same with the if the situation was flipped with the customer. You know, the customer got the wrong order first time, she was nice. Customer got the wrong order second time, and still nice. Third time, you know, you might get out of character. So if he did go to them multiple times, I'm not blaming him for his tone.
I get what you're saying, but this is a restaurant with multiple people. You have elders, you have younger people. Do you really feel like you should be cursing when your speech is geared toward a certain group of people, but yet you're addressing your whole restaurant with that type of language? That's not okay.
That's true. I see that too. Yeah.
So the woman that's in the back enjoying her meal with her husband, she got less than you sit up there curse for no reason.
Yeah.
So I do feel like his approach was wrong. But I understand he was upset, but that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we don't live in Dallas, but I'm just gonna say that incident wouldn't make me stop patronizing his business.
You know, if you look at the grand scheme of things, look at where the anger came from, you know, I think it's a small situation in comparison to a lot of more serious situations where people are getting discriminated against because of the color of their skin. You know, they're probably spitting your food in the back, you know, because you came in with a Black Lives Matter shirt or something like that. You know, when you think about that stuff that's going on, and then you think about this guy, let's just say he came at you crazy because you was twerking on the table. And come on, you know, you're not supposed to be twerking on the table in a restaurant. And like I said, at the end of the day, he's still on the outside, and he shouldn't be canceled. You know, maybe at most what's going on now, which is discussion. You know, everybody voicing their opinion, whether they feel like he was right or wrong. But to get somebody who's on our side, those are our black dollars. That money is ours. You know, Stacey Abrams, when they need donations, his money, the money that he makes, is going to her. You know, assuming that, you know, he's on the right side of things. And like I said, I feel like he is, because he could have just called the police. He could have kicked them out.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, yeah. He said he made that for black people, a good environment for black people. Anybody with the mindset to do that, you know, they gotta be on the right side of things. Yeah, I think canceling is too far.
So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below, and let us know in the comments how you feel. Do you feel like the restaurant owner should be canceled? Do you feel like we should stop patronizing that business? Let us know in the comments how you feel. Until next time, bye.